I'm writing this down because my mother keeps insisting the dinner was a turning point. And maybe for the rest of the family it was. For my daughter, I think it was confirmation. That's harder to admit. My daughter Paige is 16 now. Quiet in a way that unsettles people who need constant reassurance that they're being liked. She's not cold. She just learned early that explaining herself usually led to misunderstanding. So she began conserving energy. Our family mistakes performance for openness. My sister Linda's son Ethan fit naturally into the rhythm everyone understood. Varsity soccer, student council, confident handshake at 14. Adults love children who know how to mirror adulthood back at them. At every holiday, someone called him the future of the family. Sometimes jokingly, sometimes not. Paige would usually be nearby during these conversations, scrolling through something on her phone or typing with alarming speed across her laptop keyboard. To the family, that translated into disengagement. "She lives online," Linda would say with gentle concern. People nodded, like they were discussing weather. I corrected them in the beginning. "She's learning coding. She's working on projects. She's in a mentorship program." But after a while, I noticed something humiliating. The more I explained, the less interested people became. It sounded abstract compared to Ethan's trophies and polished stories. So eventually I stopped volunteering information too. That part belongs to me. The dinner happened in February at my grandmother Ruth's house. She'd recently fallen twice, and suddenly everyone became sentimental about family gatherings. The evening followed familiar patterns. Ethan talked about college visits while my uncle slapped the table approvingly. Linda glowed carefully beside him, trying not to appear proud while clearly enjoying every second of it. Paige sat near the end of the table, eating quietly, answering only direct questions. I remember watching her that night and realizing how physically still she'd become at family events over the years, like someone waiting for weather to pass. Then Grandma Ruth looked at her, not cruelly, honestly curious. "So Paige," she asked, "what do you actually do online all day?" A few people smiled automatically, not mocking exactly, expecting harmlessness. Paige looked up slowly from her plate. For one terrible second, I thought she might finally snap after years of accumulated dismissal. I almost wanted her to. Instead, she answered calmly, "I work with a cybersecurity training group through State Tech." Silence. My father frowned. "You mean classes?" "No," Paige said, "incident response simulations mostly." Linda gave a short laugh of confusion. "For teenagers?" Paige nodded once. "We consult sometimes." The room shifted slightly then, though nobody fully understood yet. Grandma Ruth blinked at her. "You get paid a stipend." She said it so flatly that nobody reacted properly at first. Then my brother-in-law Mark looked up sharply. "Wait," he said. "State Tech Sentinel program?" Paige glanced over. "Yeah." Everything changed in the room at that exact moment. Not emotionally, professionally. Mark worked in IT management for a hospital network. For the first time in years, an adult at that table recognized something Paige did, without needing it translated. "I know that program," he said immediately. "Their acceptance rate is insane." Nobody spoke. Linda looked at him first, then at Paige. "You never told us that," she said quietly. And there it was, not accusation, not praise, disorientation. Because the family narrative had already been written years earlier. Ethan was the ambitious one. Paige was the distracted one. Everyone had unconsciously agreed to those roles, then spent years reinforcing them for each other. Now reality was interrupting the script. Questions started coming quickly after that. How long had she been doing this? What exactly did she work on? Who recruited her? Paige answered politely, but something in the atmosphere made me deeply uncomfortable. Not because they were finally interested, because I could see they were recalculating her value in real time. Mark asked her about certifications. My father suddenly leaned forward while she spoke. Even Grandma Ruth looked embarrassed, though I don't think she fully understood why. Ethan became quieter beside Linda. Not jealous, just displaced. And the strangest part was Paige herself. She didn't brighten under the attention. No relief, no vindication, just restraint. Later that night, I found her sitting alone on Ruth's back porch wearing one of my old sweatshirts, phone balanced on her knee. You okay? I asked. She nodded. After a minute, I sat beside her. I should have defended you more over the years. She kept looking out into the yard. It wouldn't have changed anything. That's not true. It is, she said softly. People hear what already fits. I didn't know how to answer that. Inside the house, I could hear dishes clattering while Linda spoke in hushed tones to Mark. The family treated Paige differently after that dinner. More carefully, more respectfully. At Easter, my uncle asked her opinion about online privacy for his business. My father suddenly bragged about her to neighbors using words he barely understood. The change should have felt satisfying. Instead, it mostly felt late. Because the real thing that shifted that night wasn't their perception of Paige, it was my realization that she'd stopped needing this family long before they finally noticed her.